Hello, and welcome to the Rebel Ballerina Show. I am Lisa Loree, your host, the Rebel Ballerina, and there's a lot of stuff going on right now for me personally, and it's all really good, super fun. My website is just about to be up and running, so I've never had a real website before, so that's really exciting for me. And I have an event coming up where I'm actually going to be dancing and speaking. And it's a short little moment, but I am super happy and super excited about being able to do this. It is called Modern Day Wife. This organization puts on these events, and it's in Beverly Hills. The actual event is Soiree en Blanc, and it's just a really great event, and I get a chance to dance and speak, so this will be an amazing opportunity. So looking forward to it. But wow, there are so many parts and pieces to all of this stuff happening all right now, although so much of it's been in the works for years. I mean, I've been writing my book for about 4 years or so already. And that's a long process. Um, and now, of course, I've been upping my time in class, taking class as well as teaching. So there's just a lot. And thankfully, Jimmy, my producer, is also my IT guy. So he's the one that's been buried in putting together the website and all the stuff and running this show. So lots of stuff, but it's super exciting. And it just, yeah, the, that's fine. We're working on showing you some stuff right now. Because bless his heart, I never know really what I'm going to be talking about necessarily. Sometimes I do actually, but today I've just been so overwhelmed with all this stuff. But like I said, it's good stuff. So here's the difference. I used to live a life of absolute stress. I mean, that's how you could characterize my life. Oh, there we go. Soirée en Blanc. It is so cool. This is just an amazing event. And a dear friend who's also a ballerina, and she was once one of our students at my studio. Beautiful, lovely person, and beautiful um, in every way. She introduced me to the folks at Modern Day Wife, and so I so appreciate Alex you doing that for me. And I'm super excited to be able to be part of this whole thing. And it does remind me though, even with all of this craziness going on, the difference that I have in my life now compared to when I was just simply working off of cortisol, because that's what my life was just a huge amount of cortisol. So you could characterize my life up until like 5, 10 years ago as being cortisol driven. Like my life was characterized by stress. And that's one of the reasons I'm writing my book at all, is to explain those situations. Because some of you may know some of my story. I mean, I've got my mom and her cancer. I was ostracized as a kid because I was, well, ugly. Um, super skinny. So I was made fun of relentlessly, even by adults sometimes. And, I was working my tail off already. By the time I got to sign my contract with Joffrey 2, and I had been at the Joffrey School for a year on full scholarship. So by the time I actually signed that contract, I had put in roughly 10,000 hours of dancing. Now, granted, when I was little, that included tap and jazz as well, but it was very, very heavily weighted on the ballet side, obviously, because at the age of 12, I had to decide which route I was going to go. Am I going to continue with tap and jazz, which I was very advanced in those as well? And I also love Broadway musical theater. So that was a tug, but I I don't know. Ballet is just in my DNA. And I love how Jimmy says I'm purpose built for ballet. And he's right. And so it really works, and my body just loves it. I mean, seriously, it really loves it. And so happy that I'm doing it much more consistently now, and looking forward to actually performing again very soon. So I had a lot of stuff going on, right? My own parents, they separated. It was ugly, not a good thing. And then after my mom passed away, my life just went into a tailspin. From there, it just continued on. And I had just so much stuff, it seemed like, always happening. And I had a mantra over the years where I was like, I just wanted to dance. I mean, that's all I've wanted to do. I just want to dance. Can I just like do the thing that I'm made to do? Can I just do that? Unfortunately, the answer at that time was no. No, no, you don't get to do that. You have to do what everybody else wants. And I had no idea why that was happening. And that is actually the reason why I'm writing my book, is because I discovered that reason. And so many people are living in the same way that I used to be living. And I know that most people are good, caring people who want to be kind. They want to show kindness to others, strangers or not. They want to be giving, want to be helpful, useful, all of these good qualities that oh my goodness, we certainly need people behaving in that way. However, I have a feeling that the vast majority of people that I've just described are in the same life pattern that I was in, and I didn't even know it. I had no idea what was driving my life behind the scenes. And then I discovered it. So about 5 years ago, I started really seeing how all of these things that I had gone through, the choices I've made, and different things were driven by this pattern, and it was driven by cortisol. And so therefore that characterized my life. Now, having discovered all these new things in these past really 10 years, it started, but little by little, I've been piecing it together. And that's why I'm writing my book, is to put it all together. And I have a program to help people be able to navigate all of this faster, much faster than I did. And so that's what this is all about. That's what the website's about. That's what my dancing is about. And being able to dance and speak, this whole thing. Oh, there's my website. I am so thrilled. It's like amazing to see this unfold, and Jimmy has done such a good job in putting this together. So the amazing thing though is now, even with all of these fun things going on, and there's a lot, believe me, it's overwhelming, and yet it's characterized by fun. Now my life is characterized by fun. It's no longer drudgery or like, I don't even know how many years that I used to curse when my eyes would open in the morning. Literally, I would be like, fuck, I'm awake again? Ah, I was pissed. Like, I don't want to be here. Why am I doing this? It was horrible. That was my life. And now I wake up and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. I am like blown away by getting to be here and like here on the planet, getting to experience life, having the extreme contrasts that I've had, and now living in joy and a sense of harmony. There's serenity, a calm, even with the overwhelm, because it's also very exciting and exhilarating. So it's not cortisol, now it's dopamine. Now I'm living from that aspect. And obviously, it's not like I'm just hyped all the time. And I definitely still have moments of stress. I just had a moment of stress. But the cool thing is I'm able to get out of that and get back into the real life that I'm living now. And I say this being the real life because life is actually supposed to be fun. That's why we're here. We're here to have fun, to create, to be useful and contribute, but to enjoy it and to be like so full of wonder and appreciation for being here and all that we contribute, all that we are, all that we have, and all that we um, do, or especially the all that we be, if you will. That's what life is supposed to be. And I totally missed out on that for about 50 years. Well, that's a good long time to miss what life is supposed to be. Now, don't get me wrong, I started my career in that. So there were some really stellar things happening even then. But there also was a huge amount of weighty stress. And my marriage was definitely that. Having kids on the spectrum was definitely that. And the worst was the fact that I knew I had sold my soul. I had totally betrayed my soul when I stopped dancing full time. So there's a lot. There's a lot. So therefore, that's the book, basically. But the best part is the part where I discovered these different things that actually work in living life, how things work. And all the changes that I made, and it wasn't easy, that's for sure. But at the same time, I understood that, well, I didn't really have much to lose. So why not make these changes? And it's been extraordinary. It's been an extraordinary ride. So, like I said, yeah, there's still overwhelm and there's still stress, if you will, because things need to get done. But there's behind it is so much more fun and excitement, and it's much more enjoyable to be in this place than coming from a life of stress and cortisol. I really hope that you'll take a look at the stuff going on, like on my website when it's up and running. Get a copy of my book because I lay everything out in that book, and it should be published this year sometime. So I'm super excited about that too. I mean, like I said, there's so much stuff. That's why turning 60 was such a big deal for me. My birthday this year, which I just had, is such a big deal because I consider that my launch year as well. So it's not just about a number on a paper, it's about the fact that I've gotten my life back. And that even at age 60, I can still live my dreams. I can still do the things I want to do and I can have a ton of fun. And I am. And it's not that I'm having fun, it's that I'm living fun. And that's exactly how life is supposed to be. So, yeah, it's a dramatic difference. And if, I'm really hoping that I can help a whole lot of people to be able to understand that and have that for themselves as well, because this is just way, 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 way better. It's indescribable how much difference it is, but when you live it, it's amazing. And I know a few other people who have gone through some similar experiences and are coming out on this side and going, wow, wow. And the one of the issues is that we feel, I know that I felt this way, and I know from some others, we feel when we're trapped in that life of stress, a life characterized by stress, and we're good people, but now we're being manipulated and exploited and taken for that goodness. And it just becomes overwhelming in a very bad way. And we lose ourselves so much, and we feel like there's something wrong with us. We've been told there's something wrong with us. We've been told we're broken. We've been told we're weak. And so we have this identity of wrong. Well, something's wrong with me. Instead of understanding that what's really going on is that we've been conditioned. That's the crux of what I learned, is that I was conditioned to believe that so that I could be controlled by a whole bunch of others for their own jollies, if you will. And I know that that's happening to so many other people. And it's so freeing to be able to come out of that and understand, wait a second, I'm not inherently evil. I'm not wrong. I'm not broken. I'm not weak. I've been conditioned. And it starts way early in childhood. And believe me, everybody's been conditioned in some way, shape, or form. Everybody has had some kind of trauma, whether it is for real, like you've actually experienced it, or even just perceived. When we're small children, we get the fight or flight response, even if it's not for real. In the sense that, when you're a baby crying, you don't have an instant response of someone coming to hold you. Then you're starting to get into a panic mode. So you cry louder and harder. That's why I totally disagree now with the philosophy of let them cry it out. Oh, I did that. And I think that was the hugest mistake. No, because there's too much stuff going on subconsciously. Not that you have to drop everything in a heartbeat, because that's just, let's fake. Let's fake it. Let's face it. I just saw something that says faking it. And uh let's face it. We have to be able to do things. We can't possibly be hovering over our infants all the time, every single time they cry. But I'm just saying that there are things that happen subconsciously. In other words, no one makes it through childhood without some kind of trauma. Whether it's like hardcore, people have gone through some horrible things as children, which is devastating and literally like horrifying. Um, there are so many abuses taken on out on kids. It's unreal. But then there are other traumas that are perceived, and subconsciously it doesn't know the difference whether it's perceived or real. So that's part of what I'm talking about and how all of this stuff works. So in other words, everyone's affected by it, one way, shape, or form, and we all end up going on some kind of pattern. And it's the four of our trauma responses. You generally end up primarily on one of these paths, like I did. So you have fight, uh, fight, flight, freeze, and then fawn. And fawn is actually kind of a newly, not discovered, but well, it was newly coined by Pete Walker, who's a psychologist, and his book, Complex PTSD From Surviving to Thriving, was a game changer for me. It's part of why what I bring also is his work. And I reference his book in my book. And please get a copy of that for yourself because it's amazing. But we end up on one of those patterns. And I think a vast majority of us end up as fawns. But we don't know that. No one's explaining to us when we're little kids going, hmm, you're really nice and you're wanting to give and you're wanting to be a good person and everything. And so, you might be becoming a fawn. So you're going to have to be careful of that. Nobody says that. You just wake up one day and go, how is it that I am exhausted because everybody else needs me to be a certain way and I have to give up my dreams and I have to do everything everybody else wants when all I wanted to do was dance. Right? That's what I just wanted to do the thing I'm here to do. And yeah, there's so much stuff that gets in the way of that, of us actually living out our dreams. So that's one of my messages is that we need to be living our dreams because that's where the fun is. That's being who we're supposed to be. And there is no better way to have fun and to have that kind of freedom than to be real. And finally I've been able to do that. And it's truly amazing. So that is my spiel because I have gone through this contrast, having lived a life of cortisol, a life characterized by stress and cortisol, and what that brought in my life of 50 years of struggle, trauma, tragedy, loss, tons of grief, even to the point of wanting to not even be here anymore, to now having a life of joy and living fun, not just having fun, but living fun, living with peace and calm, uh, just enjoying being here, having gratitude, and being so thankful that I actually have this opportunity and I didn't do anything to prevent this opportunity from finally happening. But I tell you what, it really did take a lot. It took a lot of learning. It took a lot of understanding and figuring stuff out. And that's what I'm here to do now is to help other people be able to do that a lot faster than what I did because time's a ticking, it just is. And we want to make the best use of our time all the time. So I'm hoping that you will check out all of these things. Ooh, there it is. Fun without faking it. Yes. Having a life of fun. And my quiz. This is something that you can do as a starting point to see where you are in your own life, in your own fun quotient. And then we'll talk about it. So, yeah. So this is part of the website. I'm so super excited for this coming up very, very soon. It should be launching here within a day or two. And of course, my book coming out some point in this year. And I don't know if I'm talking about a year as in 2026 or sometime within the year before I turn 61, but it is coming out soon. And of course, getting to dance and speak my story starting this one in July for sure, the Soiree en Blanc with Modern Day Wife, but also I have another one earmarked in June, or no, the beginning of July. So there's just so many fun things, but I really hope you'll start checking it out and give me some feedback too. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think about the website and everything that I'm doing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you're having some really great things going on in your life. But more than just having moments of things going on in your life, I really want you to live fun, not just have fun. And fun without faking it, because I used to do that. I used to fake happy. all the time. I should have an Oscar, I'm telling you. I performed it. That's all it was, just performing. Performing happy, performing fun. And yeah, I'd have moments of fun, but then once that moment ended, I went right back into a life of stress. I'm talking about living fun, where, yeah, okay, you have a moment of stress, but then you come back into a life of fun and enjoyment and joy. So that's what I want for you. Anyway, in the meantime, have a super fun and good day and check out this stuff that I've been talking about. And I hope to hear from you very, very soon. Have a great day.